You are so sweet. Yeah, so sweet. He is just purring away. How's everyone doing? Oh, are you making biscuits? Hope everyone's doing well, staying warm. Why is there a second bowl in here? Hi, welcome in. What? Oh, you just want love. You are the sweetest thing ever. I love you. Mwah. Hi, welcome in. No, I'm not. I'm not. You are so cute. Yes. Anyway, how's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing well, staying warm, having fun. There's a sweet little kitty off cam. Oh, that's awesome that you're writing a story. And yes, yes, I'm reading today. What? Did I miss something? How's everyone's weekend been? It's been a minute since I've been live. Oh, thank you. Sorry, it's hard to tell sometimes. That is actually very sweet. It is, I've noticed some people that do that, it's hard for them to find some. I've actually gotten permission to add someone's original character into my story because I said they look like one of my very old characters that I made. And that was awesome. Oh, I'm sorry your weekend was tiring. Hopefully you guys can hear me over this. Yeah, sometimes weekends get busy. I get that, but sleep is important, especially if you have school. I don't know what that trend is. I'm not very up to date on trends. Hi, honey. Can I pick you up? Hi. Sweetest cat ever, I swear. Yes, please do. I want to know what they look like. Anyway, I think we can get started. We got a sleepy man right here. Can I have my hand? Okay. Oh, honey. Your meow is so cute. Okay. I think we can get started. So grab your story keeper's cup, grab a blanket, grab a stuffy if you have one, grab a pet and snuggle up because it's story time. Can I boop? Yay! I taught him boop. He actually learned it very quickly. I'm so happy. Oh, I don't care. You can put me in your story if you want to. I honestly don't mind. You can make me anything. I hear chomping, so guess there's another cat in here. Anyway, Friday, 11:51 a.m. Sorry, my brain's already lagging. I'm allowed to take a shower and change into clean clothes. The clean clothes my mom brought. Oh my god. Then I'm sent back to my cell to wait and think about what Mom and Gail want me to do. Even though I know I should consider what Mom said, it's particularly impossible. How can I agree to say it with self-defense? Oof. Ow. I hardly touch lunch. Who could possibly eat at a time like this? Later, a matron, again, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, comes to my cell. I assume she's going to transport me back to the town center for another round of questions, but instead she says, "You have a visitor." My heart leaps and my spirits skyrocket. It's Slade. He must have just heard Mom and come right over. I missed him so much. The memories of that kiss in the lounge and of his saying he'd always love me are the only bright spots in my life. Okay? I practically skip out of the cell and down the hall. Will I be allowed? Okay. Knowing her age, it's kind of expected. Will I be allowed to kiss him? Hug him? But the people waiting for me at the round table in the visitor's room is Chief Jenkins. Or, sorry, not people, person. Have a seat, Callie. I slump into a chair, not bothering to hide my disappointment. I love how sassy this girl is sometimes. You were expecting someone else? I shrug. Sorry. Struggling to hold back the tears that unexpectedly threatened to burst forth. Slade? I'm not saying his last name because I don't want to butcher it. I look up, surprised, and feel the moisture gathering in my eyes. My emotions are so raw and torn that I can't muster this. Sorry, someone just texted me. The strength to hide them anymore. Tears roll down my cheeks. Chief Jenkins nods, as if I've just answered his question. So I guess you're wondering why I'm here. Oh, you're so cute. Sorry, he's being adorable. Okay, where was I? I don't bother to answer or even nod. Obviously, he wouldn't be here if he wasn't going to tell me. He takes off his hat and places it on the table. The hat leaves a reddish ridge across his forehead. I came here to tell you a story about your father, Callie. Something I suspect you don't know. Oh, random character lore. I love that. I have absolutely no idea what he's going to say. A long time ago, he and I were friends, Chief Jenkins says. Pretty close, actually. You didn't know that, did you? I shake my head. Sorry. Anyway. Dad never said a word about it. I wonder if it's true, or just some new trick they're playing to get me to admit to other things that aren't true. I'm not surprised, Chief Jenkins goes on. We had a pretty bad falling out, and after that, we never really spoke to each other again. He pauses as if waiting for me to ask what happened, but I don't. He's come here to tell me a story. Be my guest. We were both on the Soundview High tennis team. I stared at him uncertainly. Tennis. I remember Mom saying something about Dad being on a team. I meant to ask him why he quit, but I never did. What? Sorry, my brain's lagging. Oh my god, it's late here. We were tremendous rivals in high school. The police chief continues. At least he thought we were. I played first singles on the team, and all he wanted to do was beat me and play first singles himself. The police chief goes on. For some reason, I was born with athletic talent coming out of my ears, great reflexes, amazing hand-eye coordination. The funny thing was, I couldn't have cared less. I played on my high school teams, tennis, baseball, basketball, and I knew I wouldn't play in college. I had other things on my mind. Your father couldn't have been more different. What he lacked in raw talent, he tried to make up for with determination, practice, training, and studying. He would practice and practice, study strategy. Sorry, I'm kind of like zoning out. Read all the books, and then challenge me. But I would always beat him. Well, that's not really true. Most of the time, he would beat himself, psych himself out. Truth is, he was what we used to call a head case. Well, at least that part rings true. So now I'm becoming curious. What happened? Chief Jenkins runs his thick fingers over the back of his thin hair, as if checking to make sure those few back strands are still there. I called a lead. I have no idea what that means. But no tennis terminology, so. Sorry? I'm not sure I know what that means, or what he means. When you serve and a ball nicks when you serve and the ball nicks the net but still goes into the service box, it's called a let. Sorry, someone's texting me. You get to do the serve over anyway. Your dad challenged me to a match, and as usual, he acted as if it wasn't just some tennis game, but was practically a matter of life and death, as if his entire future depended on it. So we got into a fight over a ball I thought was a let, and your dad just went nuts. I nod. It's so easy to imagine Dad doing that. Finally, he called me a cheater and walked off the court, quit the team, and never talked to me again. And as far as I know, he never played tennis again either. I'm struck by how sincerely sad and filled with regret Chief Jenkins appears to be, as if while he didn't care that much about tennis, he really cared about my dad. But I still don't understand why he's telling me this. He goes on. After high school, I went into the Army for 2 years, and then the police academy. Even though he wouldn't talk to me, I kept tabs on your dad. But so I went to FCC, and then later, when we'd both gotten married and moved back here, stories about him and the troubles he had with your brother, especially since Sebastian had a few run-ins with us as well. I'd see your dad from time to time, but he never do more than nod. He was a very angry guy, always at war with someone or something. Chief Jenkins levels his eyes on mine, and I recognize it. Oh, this is a longer chapter. As a caring gaze. His eyes are sad, as if he's seen too many things he wishes he hadn't seen. He places his left hand on the table, wearing a wedding ring. So you're surely wondering why I'm telling you all this, he finally says. I guess it goes back to when your dad and I were friends. Just that he always wanted to, so badly the things I'd been given without even asking. I guess I always felt bad for him. It seemed like he caught a lot of unlucky breaks. He pauses again. From some other part of the facility comes distant shouts followed by laughter. Not what you'd expect in a detention center. Hi, welcome in. Anyway, where was I? Meanwhile, I'm still waiting, wondering why. He's told me all this and where the story's going, but I sense I won't have to wonder much longer. He places his right arm on the table, leans forward toward me, and lowers his voice. I hear your refuse argument. He gazes steadily at me for my reply. I fold my lap and look straight into his eyes as if to say, if that's why he's here, he's wasting his time. But what comes out of my mouth is, why would I agree to claim self-defense when I'm innocent? Chief Jenkins looks down at his hat lying on the table and turns it slightly with his fingers. Callie, suppose I told you we think the knife came from Catherine's house. His eyes raise again to meet mine. What? I rock back in the chair as if he pushed me. It makes sense. Why would Catherine bring a knife to the kegger? How could that be? To be honest, we're not sure. But let's forget that for a moment. Would just knowing the knife came from her house make you more comfortable with pleading self-defense? What's up, buddy? Hi, honey. Hi. Hi, welcome in. Hi, sweet boy. You're such a talker. Yes. Such a talker. Sorry, the kitty. Yeah. His name's Dusty. He's new. And he is the sweetest cat I've ever met. He is such a talker. Can I hold you? Will you let me hold you? Or are you comfy? No. Sweet boy. Come here. I'm not moving you. Yeah. Can I poop? Yep. Sweetest cat ever. Anyway. I feel like he's practically rolling out a red carpet for me. If Catherine brought the knife, it might imply that she wanted to off me. So then claiming self-defense would make perfect sense. I'd go free. No one could blame me for defending myself. I'd be with Slade again. What's up, buddy? Why are you looking at me? What's up? What do you want? Oh, what's up, baby? When I'm not in the room, he's on the floor for some reason, but the second I come in, he jumps on my bed. It's the cutest thing ever. And he's my little furry shadow all the time. Anyway. Only it would still mean admitting I offed Catherine. I have to tell you, Kelly, I don't understand why you won't agree to it. Okay, bye, Dusty Busty. Hi, sweet Dusty. Oh, you're going to your litter box. Go on. It's okay. Buddy, you don't need my permission. It's okay, bud. Oh. Dusty. Mwah. Go on. You're the one who wanted down there. Anyway. I have to tell you, Kelly, I don't understand why you won't agree to it, Chief Jenkins says. There were no witnesses. If you say it was self-defense, there's no one who can really argue. It adds the crucial element of doubt. It's almost impossible to imagine a jury convicting you in that situation. On the other hand, if you insist on your innocence, you know you're making it much more difficult for the jury. They know someone offed Catherine, and a lot of evidence points to you in that situation. I can predict what they'll decide, and I can't predict what they'll decide, and neither can anyone else. Sorry, my brain. But the possibility of being convicted of second-degree slaughter. I've said it too many times already. I don't want YouTube to get mad at me. Is serving a long time in prison is much, much greater. Yes, I've heard this before. So why is he telling me again? Is it a trick? Is he trying to get me to plead self-defense because it will take away the possibility of that Dakota will be accused? That could be it, right? But something tells me it isn't. I may be only 17, but not old enough to be the great judge of character. But I feel that I'm looking into the eyes of a man who's telling the truth. Maybe you're not responding because your lawyer told you not to talk to anyone, and the Miranda warning states that anything you do say may be used against you, Chief Jenkins says. But I want you to understand something, Kelly. My duty as an officer is to seek justice. I've taken an oath to fulfill that duty to the best of my abilities. But I also have a commitment to the people of this community to do what I believe is the best for all involved. It's not to decide whether or not you're innocent or guilty. That's up to the judge and jury. But I've known your family for a long time, and personally, I think you faced more than enough hardships. Maybe you could think of it maybe you could think of it this way. I've come here today not as the chief of police, but as a friend who doesn't understand why you'd want to risk another tragedy when there's such an obvious way around it. Sorry, my brain's shutting down. I know I'm not supposed to say anything, but I can't help it. I stare at him right in those watery hazel eyes and ask, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Have you ever been accused of something you didn't do? He blinks as if this isn't what he expected me to say. Yes? Then you know how it feels. He gazes at me for a long time with an expression, oh my God, sorry, an eyelash just fell in my eye, that at first seems astonished and then turns thoughtful. You had nothing to do with Catherine's offing. Nothing whatsoever. There was no plan? You weren't in it with someone else? You never discussed it with anyone? Discussed? What? I have no idea what you're talking about. It's like there's something else going on here that no one will tell me about. What is it? Did Mia ever tell you she was going to get Catherine? What was that? Was that why she came out of the police station with her father and that woman lawyer? She might have said something like that, I answer. But it never sounded like, did she ever mention physical threats? I don't remember. The police chief drums his fingers against the table. Did you go to Jerry's house a few nights ago? I'm so eager to prove my innocence that I almost say I did, but then I catch myself. I don't know what Jerry has to do with any of this, but he did me a big favor. He did my brother a much, much bigger favor. Whatever he had to do Bleh. Sorry. Whatever he had to do with the trap at the train station, I have to believe he was forced into it. I don't want to get him into trouble. I stare down at the table mutely. Sorry, I almost said a completely different word. Jenkins studies me a moment longer and then nods as if he's made up his mind about something. I've been in this profession a long time, Kelly. I like to think I've gotten pretty good at separating liars from the ones who are telling the truth. Then he picks up his hat and places his hands on the table and heaves himself up. That's all I have to say. And that, my beautiful, beautiful raindrops, is the end of chapter 43. I will be back tomorrow with chapter 44. But please do tell me your thoughts and theories in the comments. I'm always in those comments, and I love hearing your thoughts and theories. But until then, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, my beautiful raindrops. Stay spooky, stay weird, stay dreaming, and if cats bite.